Hello again. Thought for the day. Are you an American who feels entitled? Yes, I think there's a few out there. Not all of you, by all means. Maybe there's a few entitled English guys as well, and Australians. But particularly, there are a number of entitled Americans out there. Those that feel that somehow their way is the best way and it's the only way. They often are ex-military, or maybe they say they are. I wonder how many who are ex-military here are maybe not what they say they are. I have a good friend who's an ex-Marine here in the Philippines. And he is what he says he is. He's a very quiet spoken person, very humble in many ways, and a very nice guy to spend a few days or a few hours with. And the suggestion that I hate Americans is absolute baloney. What I don't like is a number of Americans who feel they're entitled to be noticed, entitled to be taken seriously. There are a number of channels out there that are really good information channels, and they're down-to-earth people who are running them. There's a young, I'll call him a young one because he's younger than me, married to a Filipina. They come from Texas. We've seen them back home on their farm getting ready to come here, and we've seen them build a beautiful home on the side of the sea. Very informative guy, and he presents his channel in such a way that it's not condescending. He's not trying to be a lecturer on how to build a home. He's giving us useful hints. Therefore, regardless of whether he's American or not, he is an American. Can't help but recognize that Texan drawl. But then you also have another one, who is another American guy. Built a very nice house, and now he's starting up his own construction. But again, a nice couple, delightful little daughter. Again, showing Filipinos as well as Americans that he can do things differently here. He does tend to lecture us a little bit about how to do this and how to do that. But he has a lot of skill in polishing concrete, and it's interesting to watch. Just like when I did a video on how to do a metal frame to hold the ceiling up. I did it to show people that there is an alternative to using lumber, and even though it's very labor intensive, I did it myself on my own. And I did it for probably a third of the price if I paid someone else to do it. So again, it's an information that I pass on, just like the other two Americans I'm talking about. Then of course you go to the other extreme and you have My PI Dream. Lovely guy, James, and Ness, his lovely wife, Filipina. They have a great channel. It's almost like a TV channel. It's one of those channels where you cannot help but get hooked watching it. I started from the first day he decided to put his kubo on his bit of property there and start building his Villa Feliz. And it was a stage by stage, following him through every part of the building process. Again, very knowledgeable American guy. Comes from South Carolina, I believe. But on the other side of the coin, you have Americans who present themselves as disabled, like David and Rose on the Campbell blog. And Rose has started doing one on her own. But David is a fascinating guy. And to deal with being disabled here in the Philippines and an American, it's an intriguing mixture. And of course, who could forget that of Filipina P, a Filipina doing a great job at giving everybody an opportunity to see what and how to do things here in the Philippines. Yes, some of the subjects are a little controversial, but nevertheless, they're polished and they're delivered just like a real professional. Of course, there are many, many others. I can't help but think of Fred and Wilma. I know his name's not Fred, but Wilma. They're building a house, a lovely big house, very big. Beautiful smiley face Wilma has. A lovely, calm, intelligent gentleman from America and his wife. There are so many really good channels, but unfortunately there are some that take umbrage to the fact that somehow somebody has rubbished them or somehow upset them or been unfair. And what do you get? You get a retraction, you get a retaliation. Anything but common sense would just say, forget it. Let the guy, don't give him oxygen. If somebody has a go at you, don't give them oxygen. Don't antagonize the situation and make it worse. Point in mind. I did a video a couple of days ago and I think I had 9,000 plus views. Incredible. And all I did is, tongue in cheek again, just stepping back from the situation in Dumaguete, where somebody obviously upset somebody else, and the other one, the only way to resolve it was to highlight the misdemeanors or the bad behavior of this other person. And right or wrong, it doesn't matter whether or not he did or he didn't. But to retaliate in such a way as to give us a full breakdown, like the CIA information about this guy, that just makes that person seem bitter. I enjoy watching one of the guys who said he was going to maybe buy a cruise ship. I don't know whatever happened about that. But this same guy was saying how he came here with very little money. So he has dreams like anybody else. But to be upset by others, small channels, because they do it, we all fall for it. I've had my number of trolls, and it's just one of those things, it does get under your skin. And often they are Americans sitting in their little cellars somewhere, making comments about something they really don't understand. You know, there's been so much misunderstanding about me talking about veterans having a privilege. It's not the fact it's a privilege that is offered by the Philippines government to veterans and those that have served in the military, not just in America, but anywhere in the world, to get a cheaper opportunity of an SRRV visa. That's all it is. But I had some clown, American, decided that he would use it to maybe try and boost some of his views to his channel, to dissect my video. Again, didn't have the courtesy to ask, but just went ahead and did it. And I don't think that was right. But it did get under my skin, but it's rather strange. I wondered why my videos had gone up in popularity. In a way, he did me a favour. So thank you, Mr. American, living in your condo in Angeles City. But again, you know, not everybody has the wish to be seen hanging around bars, going around to the same coffee shop every day, hanging around with the same group of people, talking a load of whatever pleases them, but often rubbishing the others. It's not my scene, and the majority of Americans who come here, and Australians and English people, tend to stick to themselves. They're not becoming reclusive, but they're mingling and are being absorbed by their own little community around them, which is what we really all should be doing. We shouldn't be making little enclaves for others to arrive. I mean, we should be able to plonk ourselves down, really, anywhere we desire, and be able to survive without the help of others around us from our own country. So we really think before we come anywhere, especially the Philippines, think whether or not you have the wherewithal to do that. Could you drop from your parachute into any part of the Philippines and survive? I wonder. I think maybe at least half of those that come here probably find out the hard way and end up going back. But then the other half persevere, they strive, and they get there. But many of those, even those with video blogs, end up going back, sadly. I say sadly because it is a wonderful place to live, and the people around us are a great group of community people who are only too pleased to help us and see us succeed. Because if we succeed, they succeed. And that's what it's all about. So I hope you like this video, and don't get too upset about it. I'm not anti-American. As I've often said, my mother was American, Portland, Oregon. And that's not like saying, well, all my best friends are Americans, or all my best friends are black people, or brown people, or yellow people. It sounds condescending. But my mum was American. I can't hide that fact. So, bye now.